we're going to look at Black Canary and Huntress, two somewhat major reoccurring characters in the Arrow world. Even though they're not there from the beginning, they've had enough screen time to make them important to Arrow. And they do quite a bit in Justice League as well. We'll start their story with the Cat and the Canary. The Cat and the Canary features Black Canary and her mentor Wildcat. After finishing up one of her missions, Black Canary goes to investigate where her mentor Wildcat was during that mission, and finds out that he's become part of an underground fighting organization that runs illegal cage fighting matches between different people with special powers and fighting skills, and televises them for money and so forth. Wildcat, a former boxing champion who in his old age is starting to feel useless in a world with more and more superpowered people running around, feels the need to continuously prove himself in the ring. So he intentionally goes up against other people who have special powers to prove that he's still got the ability to fight and come out winning every time. Eventually, the corruption of this whole fighting ring is exposed, and Wildcat ultimately does the right thing. This story arc is continued a couple of seasons later in Grudge Match, where Black Canary and Huntress end up once again involved in the underground cage match fighting ring. Only this time they're fighting against a whole bunch of female Justice League heroes who have been mind-controlled into fighting each other. And this includes having to go up against the strongest female fighter of them all, Wonder Woman. It's a good first run for Black Canary, as you get to see her skills and learn a little bit about who her character is. Next on our list, we have The Terror Beyond. This is a major Solomon Grundy episode, one where we really get a feel for his character. It's also one of the deeper and more emotional episodes. In this version, Grundy is acting something like the Hulk from Marvel Comics. He has the same strength levels, mannerisms, daily problems, and speech patterns as the Hulk. We start off with him being chased by the military and then kidnapped from military custody by Aquaman, who takes him to see Dr. Fate. When Superman, Wonder Woman, and Hawkgirl show up to investigate why Aquaman took Grundy, they go to Dr. Fate's area and they barge in on what Dr. Fate is doing and attempt to stop him. Now, this is one of the more annoying things that storytelling does, is we've created a situation where one group of characters, Dr. Fate, Aquaman, and Grundy, and another group of characters, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Hawkgirl, fail to communicate with each other. Dr. Fate is attempting to do something without explaining why he's doing it, and Superman is trying to stop something without questioning what the thing is he's trying to stop. I really, really hate it when characters in stories can't take the time to say one sentence that explains the situation and why they shouldn't be stopped from doing what they're doing. Anyhow, thanks to the interference from these heroes not communicating, they unleash Cthulhu, one of the most popular, powerful, and ancient dangerous creatures from fictional storytelling. A character that not only appears in DC, but appears throughout science fiction and supernatural storytelling of many, many shows, including Real Ghostbusters, and even making an appearance in the video game Scribblenauts, among many, many other things. This story gives the backstory to Solomon Grundy, and it helps build his character as taking him beyond just the brainless, muscle-bound thug. It gives him a personality and a motivation, and it raises up the question of faith versus not faith. At the end of this story, Grundy sacrifices his life to help save the day after bonding with Hawkgirl. The story is continued several episodes in a season or so later in Wake the Dead, when Grundy is resurrected by magic. This continuation of the story is one that I find a little bit more poorly written, as the writers do absolutely everything to eliminate every possible superhero from defeating Grundy, leaving it so that only Hawkgirl, who bonded so closely with him in the last appearance, is the one that gets to defeat him. Put these two episodes together and you have a complete Grundy story. And it's probably the best look at the character that you're going to get in any of DC's animated interpretations of his character. Next one down on our list, and again, keeping in mind that this is a episodes that relate to Arrow countdown list and not a best episodes of Justice League list, we have Double Date, Question of Authority, Flashpoint, Divided We Fall, and Epilogue. These stories all go together in one story that tells an overarching plot throughout their run. What we have in this series of stories is a superhero known as the Question, who's something of a conspiracy nut. He looks into the secrets of Amanda Waller and Cadmus and their organization and everything that the government's been trying to do with the superheroes throughout this past season. As he unravels the conspiracy and starts finding answers, Green Arrow and Black Canary, and later on Huntress, get involved in digging down to the truth. And what they discover is that Cadmus this whole time has been manipulated by Lex Luthor, who has had his kryptonite poisoning mysteriously cured and his normal human strength artificially enhanced by merging with the Kryptonian supercomputer android known as Brainiac. Now this fused Luthor Brainiac is on the loose, and he's got his set sight on killing the Flash. These episodes make up the exciting climactic finish to the Cadmus story arc, and puts an end to Amanda Waller and her attempts to create superheroes who are loyal to the government. It also dives into Lex Luthor's presidential run, which is a popular plotline throughout multiple incarnations of the DC universe. And it ends with my favorite Justice League episode, Epilogue. There's an episode, Hunter's Moon, in the middle of this, but Arrow fans can skip over this as it doesn't do anything for them. If you want to continue diving into Green Arrow, his other really good animated appearance is in a DC animated short, which is part of the DC animated shorts showcase. If you want to see the Cadmus storylines and the Lex Luthor presidential plotline redone in DC animated movie form, the Batman Superman movies do almost the same plot. Now, those right there wrap up my comparing of Arrow to the animated series as far as Justice League is considered. We have a few Arrow bad guys left over, however. Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, makes multiple appearances in the Teen Titans animated series, as well as in the Young Justice animated series. Green Arrow and many other Arrow characters made subsequent animated appearances in other shows, such as Young Justice, The Batman, and Batman Brave and the Bold. And characters like Clock King and Firefly, who appeared in the Arrow series at least once so far, also make appearances in the Batman animated series. However, we'll be talking more about these appearances in a future episode of our animation to live action connection segment. I didn't want to talk too long about Justice League and Justice League Unlimited because I've already talked on long enough about them. I hope that you enjoyed these comparisons and took the time to watch some of the episodes that I suggested in this list. Once you have these under your belt, you might find even more appreciation of the Arrow series. Thank you for watching, and good night.